our car, it kind of like blew up this morning when we're all getting ready. We think we blew a head gasket. That's probably what happened. So when we usually go to events, we're always like maybe 10, 15 minutes late. But it's kind of hard getting a bigger group of young men together. Some would say it's like herding wild cats.
Uh-oh, these guys.
Hey.
How's it going?
We showed up, crewed up, Natty.
Good job. You guys bring those receipts?
Yes, yes I did.
Good. Some new faces, I like that.
Yeah.
What's going on, you guys? Finally, the receipts. Oh my gosh, Natty. Oh, our accountant's gonna kill you.
I have, that's most of them.
The hardest thing about these guys do amazing work, but it's hard to get them to bring their receipts back.
Yeah.
If Sammy and I write a grant for $5,000, I know that Sammy's gonna do $15,000 worth of grant work. I just hope that I can get at least $5,000 of receipts to show.
Yeah.
So while we've got that grant that we got just recently, I talked to the bookkeeper. We can get you the check right now and keep trucking, keep doing the good work, man. These new guys, they're learning a little bit about Ancestral Guard today. And
Yes, today the kids, we went to a little bit of Clam River cleanup.
excellent. You guys, we should look at some pictures of the trip real quick.
Oh yeah.
So this is about how we went over to the Amazon to fight against the Bella Monte Dam with the indigenous people there that kind of knew that the dam was gonna destroy the river.
These people thought there are only indigenous people left on Earth. And it's easy to feel like that sometimes. So we have to find other people like us, to find other people who can benefit from the work that we're doing. Because when we come together, it's acknowledging that there's people out there all over the world that are fighting for their resources and their rights to live healthy lifestyles.
We have this machete right here that we got back from our trip from Malaysia. We went over there because they're trying to build a dam over there, and that would flood out 20,000, I think, indigenous people over there. And they brought like an activist from all around the world, and we got the opportunity to be a part of that. Here's one of the things that we brought back in this machete, and that's made from their indigenous people over there, so that's pretty amazing.
And again, when you look at this stuff, just remember that, like, these are really awesome things, but what they represent and the story that they tell is even more amazing.
One thing that kind of like struck my mind in Malaysia, they had these dugout boats, and the whole bottom of the boat was dug out just like our traditional Europe boats. But they said back in the day when they had bigger logs, their whole boat was one piece, just like ours. But now they have nothing but small trees, so they make like planks on the sides and slap them on the bottom dugout. So it kind of like made me think of if they keep chopping our redwood trees, that could be in our future.
So that's why it's important. That's why I like these things, and it kind of reminds me every time I come here to look at these and think like this is only the beginning, because you guys are all just young men. And just wait till you're like Frank Lara one day telling another group of boys about it. What are you gonna tell them? You know what I mean? What are you gonna say? How did you fight for what you have?
Our grandparents weren't allowed to do this. When you fished, you had to do it secretly. You had to cover your tracks. Our ancestors went to war with the government right here on these same grounds to protect our fishing rights and to protect this river.
Come help us, man. We got the feds in here knocking our heads, pulling our nets, saying that we can't fish.
This latest clash between Northern California Indians and the government is the result of a declared moratorium on fishing in the Klamath River.
It was a no-win situation down there. I mean, you couldn't stop this big inboard coming in and ramming your boat. You know, taking you and pulling you in their boat and sapping your head with a big old nightstick.
To these native fishermen, the memory of California's historic mistreatment of American Indians is still very much alive. Beginning with the first official session of the California legislature in 1850, which created a legal loophole permitting the enslavement of California Indians, to the nullification of hunting and fishing rights in the 20th century. To these Indians, this latest battle is as much about civil rights as it is about fishing.
By the time it got here, it wasn't just fishing rights. They were taking our hunting rights. They were taking our whole way of life. So we pulled our armed camps here. We brought medicine men throughout all nations. There was hundreds of people here. They wanted us to stop fishing. And we said, we're never going to stop fishing. Fish on.
Secretary of the Interior Cecil Andrus went to Klamath to mediate the dispute, which has escalated into an armed standoff.
Finally, they heard our demands. Indian health, Indian education, sovereignty. You know, I say hopefully putting our lives on the line here has helped us in our fight to keep our water, to keep our salmon, to keep our way of life. We fight for the freedom of all natives to have our native food.
My grandparents lived down on the river right here, the Morrow River, where it runs into the Missouri. When my parents died, they were going to send us to an orphanage, but my grandparents took us all in. They had cattle and they had a ranching operation at one time, but they were too old to keep that up, so then us boys would have to do my grandpa's work. But still, they gave us a place to grow up anyway, so that was very fortunate. But my grandparents sent us to the Indian boarding school because there was no other feasible way for us to go to school.
The government is constantly being built, and through the agencies of the government, they are being rapidly brought from their state of comparative savagery and barbarism to one of civilization.
So take down the Klamath?
And when our people die, because we don't have the food that we need, it's the destruction of our Mother Earth.
Indigenous people all over the world are on a struggle to losing their land. I came halfway around the world to almost be like home.
You know, the group that I came with, beautiful, incredible people. I live as indigenous land in California on the Klamath River, and I have witnessed firsthand how terrible the dams that are on the Klamath are.
I feel very blessed and lucky to be here and meet these people. They have a beautiful culture. When I look at these kids running around here, it makes me so happy. They're so carefree and happy just living their life. And I would hate to see that taken away from them. So we used to live in villages much like this, but we don't no more. We're not able to live our lives that we used to live. because of those dams.
Development is ruining the world. The Belamonte Dam is gonna cause genocide for all the Brazilian indigenous people here. We believe that when our river dies, we're gonna die.
We have so much in common and we need to keep each other safe, and I don't want anything to happen to them because they're beautiful.
This place is the most incredible place I've ever been, the most beautiful place, one of the most beautiful places in the world.
Because this is our land and we can't, they can't take us away from that because they don't know how to take care of it like we do. They don't know how to treat the land like we do.
We just flew over the dam and the destruction is vast. It hurts my heart so much to see people doing this to such a wonderful river and such an incredible land. That I just beg the people of the world, come together, protect the Amazon, protect the Xingu, protect the people. No more dams in the Amazon basin. We need to restore this land. We need to tear down dams. We need to open rivers.
They need help just as much as we do. What's happening to them happened to us 100 years ago. Right now is a revolutionary time. This is a time that almost all indigenous people have gone through the same problems. This is a time where almost all indigenous people have faced genocide on multiple different levels. But this is the time that we rise from that and flourish like a rose.
I would just say keep trying, I guess like we did with our dams, trying to get them taken down.
The power of prayer and solidarity, the people power is gonna rule in the end. The struggle might be hard and it might be long, but never give up. You fight for your children, your grandchildren, the children that are not born yet.
We may not win every single battle, but if we don't fight, we've already lost.
Mas a gente tem que enfrentar, tem que ir à frente, lutar junto para a gente conseguir as coisas.
Não pode perder a esperança de brigar contra o Belo-Monte.
A delegação dos indígenas do rio Klamath, que a gente chamou de Clamazon, que é a união de Klamath com a Amazon, foi uma experiência muito profunda e muito interessante.
A gente ficou tão feliz com eles, né, a chegada deles, de conhecer outras parentes de fora.
Eu me senti honrada de poder fazer parte desse momento tão íntimo de indígenas da América do Norte com indígenas da América do Sul, trocando culturas, histórias, experiências, artesanatos.
A gente ficou muito impressionado, né? Mostraram a cultura deles também, muito boa, a música, a pintura.
Então realmente foi algo que trouxe uma nova esperança e novos ares aqui para as populações do Xingu.
Espero que muitas vezes a gente se encontre.